Well, greetings and welcome to Portland in Maine. So we're docked over there on Celebrity Eclipse. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to tell a little bit about the group cruise, since this is our last port of call on a 10-night Canada, New England trip. So there are 69 people, 68 kind of followers and me, 54 from the US, 10 from the UK, 2 from Australia, 2 from Ireland and 1 from Canada. And there are also actually 11 solos on the trip. So the group cruises tend to have a lot of solos because obviously you have lots of friends and whatnot that you can make along the way. So that's been really great. So overall we've had a pretty amazing weather. So let me tell you a little bit about the group cruise, how it worked and so on. So we had a great start to the group cruise. So the day before we embarked, we had some pre-cruise activities which I did in partnership with the Meet Boston team, so Carol Copeland-Thomas and Michael Munn, and we had a fantastic tour the day before which went up to view Boston. So we got incredible sightseeing over Boston. We had a Q&A, we had some drinks and so on. And then in the evening we had an amazing reception at the Rotunda in the Faneuil Hall, which is a very historic hall with lots of food places and stalls and so on. So that was really great. They made us feel really important. They had a string of various dignitaries there, including the head of Meet Boston, and Councillor Flynn was there, and he gave us a proclamation from the council, which was amazing. Also, he's very important because his dad used to be the mayor, and the cruise port that we sailed from is named after his dad, Flynn. So the next day we then headed off to the port and embarked. It was big long queues to get on the ship, but once I opened the doors it was really quick on board. Then once on board I hosted a sort of a welcome desk where I got to meet the people that I hadn't met the day before, gave them some swag. So we had a door magnet and a mouse mat, and people got their first of the raffle tickets. And then after that, we kind of dispersed and had sailways and so on. And then every evening we would meet for informal drinks. So everyone had these always included package. So we had, Wi-Fi, gratuities, and the classic drinks package. So we'd meet every night for those informal drinks, and then we would have dinner together. So we actually were on the first sitting, so it was a 5:45 for 6 dining. So we had all these tables together, which was great. So people could dine if they wanted to every night. Most people did. And I would host a table every night and I would host 7 people. So across the 10 days, everyone had a chance to dine with me. And that was really great, getting to meet people and so on. So that really worked really well. We also had 3 meetups during the course of the cruise. The first one was a trivia around tips for travellers and me, a chance to talk a little bit about the channel and so on. That was really good fun. So was I born in Bight Bridge, Bulawayo, Harare or Victoria Falls? So A, B, C or D. So what did I do during military service? Was I a signal officer? Was I a weapons instructor? Was I a military intelligence operative? Or was I military police? What was the very first video that I ever posted on YouTube? Was it the Cape Cove Guest House Cape Town Room Tour? That snappy little title. Was it Cunard Queen Mary 2 Queen's Grill Cabin Tour? Was it Bellagio Las Vegas Fountain Show at night? Or Universal Studios Hollywood Earthquake Studio Tour? Who got 8? Did you really get 8? Come on down. Well done.
Is there any cyber guard?
No. So this is a record. So we're gonna have to do an official congratulations right, all the 7s, come on down. I have to say, you're doing better than our first group cruise. Take your pick. So you've got your water bottle, you've got a mug, caps, a tote bag. People also got their second raffle ticket, very important for coming to that. The second meetup was a Q&A. So what happened is people would put their names if they wanted to ask a question. I drew the names out and ask questions. That was really good fun, lots of questions about the channel and so on. Great, so welcome to the meetup. Hopefully everyone's having a good time so far. Oh, that's good. That's good to know. So, who didn't clap? Okay. What I'm calling is unlock the answers. Okay, so that'll become clear. You can tell I'm like a frustrated game show creator because everything's got to have a name or a title or a whatever. So the reason it's called Unlike the Answers is that anybody whose name gets pulled out of the hat and gets asked a question gets this 1 of 10 key ring. Okay?
It looks like it's a lot of work to put on a group cruise. So my curiosity is, what do you feel has been your greatest benefit of doing these events?
Okay, none whatsoever. Third meetup, we did a quiz around the cruise, little bits of trivia stuff, some bits and pieces, and a chance to win prizes. So today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to a couple of reminders of a few bits and pieces. Then we will do a couple of follow-ups from the Q&A. There was one or two things just got raised afterwards that I thought are worth kind of following up from that Q&A just to fill some gaps. So, because a couple of people asked the same thing afterwards. So I was going to do, I think there's two things I'm going to do there. Then we will do the last quiz of the group cruise, which is called Group Cruise Quiz with Prizes. So it's a group quiz and it has prizes. And so very important. So this side of the teddy bear is the prizes. Okay, so this is the raffle side. That's the prize side. Anyway, let's get into giving away some prizes, shall we? What is the significance of the man, out of focus man, presenting us the Boston Proclamation at the Meet Boston reception? Second question: how many cruise lines are due to depart or call into Boston in 2024? And the source is the official kind of port website. So the first and the second meetup, there was prizes of various group cruise branded merchandise, sweatshirts, water bottles, and so on. So that was really good fun. Then we did the raffle. So the raffle was really great. So we had a big pack from the Meet Boston team of stuff. The cruise maps had given us, for someone to win a one-of-a-kind map, cruise map of the cruise. It's the only one in the world that will have the itinerary and the logo on. For the last prize of all, remember, this is the one-of-a-kind cruise maps of the group cruise. We had these beautiful bears which were branded with the group cruise logo, which was probably one of the hottest items of all. There was a goodie bag with lots of group cruise merchandise that was also kind of popular, so we did that. Then on the last night, we're going to have, by the time we watch this, we will have had a farewell cocktail party, although because we're quite late in here and everyone has to go through immigration, a lot of people actually want to be back in time for the tours. The other thing that we did on the group cruise, which I didn't do on my first group cruise, is we had group excursions. So I'd arranged a partnership with Venture Ashore to do 3 group excursions. One in Sydney, which was an overview of Sydney. The second one was we were in Quebec City, a walking tour of Quebec City. And the third one was in Charlottetown, which was included highlights of Charlottetown and Anne of Green Gables. So because I was busy with kind of sorting out stuff for the group, I didn't go on all of them. I did go on the Quebec City walking tour, and that was really good fun. So we'll see what people think of the group tour. So I added that based on the feedback from the first group cruise. So we'll see if people want that and if I do it on the next group cruise. So my next group cruise is actually Panama Canal, back on Honda America. It's a 15-night. At the time of recording this, we'd sold out the original allocation of cabins. I've added a few more cabins, partly because we have lots of solos coming out. I think we have about 20-something solos. I try to cap my groups at about 70, just because that's a good number that I feel works for me. And also it means that I can do things like dine with everybody and stuff. So that was just kind of the way that I've done it so far, and we'll see. That's what I'm doing for the next one. So we'll see how that goes. I've had a great time on the group cruise. The great thing about the group cruise is, I guess people are drawn together by some commonality. They're interested in cruising. I guess they follow my channel, so there's kind of, I'm a focal point, if you like. People have made lots of friendships. Lots of people on the group cruise are booked on the next group cruise. We had 6 people who were on the first group cruise who are on this group cruise, but even more who are going to be on the Panama group cruise. Now, from each of the 3 meetups, I've done videos with some highlights of those, which I will link in the description, because if you want to dive more into what we spoke about and sort of the questions that were asked, you can watch those.